Where Mala came from, people didn't wake up before dawn to watch the sunrise, sip sugary tea, or unfold a newspaper in golden light. They woke with reason. 1. To begin chores and get to work or school, often a long walk or 2 or 3 crowded buses. 2. To pray, fast, perform rituals that might win mercy from the Almighty, soften fate, or bring peace to homes always on edge. 3. To stand in line, to queue for hours, sometimes all day, for essentials, water, food, sometimes both. Today, it was food. A few kilos of grain from the government's ration supply. The weekly lifeline for those stamped below the poverty line. That morning, Mala spotted the food truck first. Just a cloud of dust rising like smoke, then the shape. A battered green truck crawling toward them. "It's coming," she whispered. They missed the last distribution. Her brother had been sick, and they arrived too late. Supplies were gone before they even got through the gate. Not today. They woke earlier. No hair combing, no prayers. Just a long walk. Mother clutching the ration card like scripture. They were near the front. She could almost taste the rice. This time, they wouldn't go home empty-handed. They weren't alone. Jaya Aji left before dawn. She wore her nicest sari and had washed her slippers the night before. "Just because we're poor," she said, "doesn't mean we show up like beggars." Anas, 12, stood barefoot at the front, holding a spot for his mother, who stayed back with his baby sister. He still wore his school ID, though school had been closed over a year. His mother said, "If they see you study, maybe they'll treat us better." He wasn't sure that was true, but like pretending he belonged to something other than hunger. By 9, the air was thick with hunger and prayer. The sun climbed higher, like it had something to prove. The people surged forward, but the gates didn't open. The loudspeakers crackled once, then went dead. No announcements. Murmurs turned to complaints, complaints into confusion, and soon, silence. Mala shifted her weight. Anna stalked at his shirt. Jaya Aji sat slowly on the curb, fanning herself with her ration card. Still, the gate stayed shut. Then came the whispers. "There's a delay. Paperwork issue. Security not cleared." Words that meant nothing but stirred fear. Would they miss out again? Was hunger louder than patience? Or was it the dread of returning empty-handed? Someone slipped. A scream. The line broke. Panic rippled through the crowd like fire through dry grass. The iron gates rattled, challenged by desperation, but held firm, not because of metal, but because of the man behind it. Eyes shaded, unmoved, untouched, untouchable. It wasn't just steel that kept people out. It was the power behind it, smoke in safety. That confidence poured fuel onto the frenzy. This wasn't just a crowd. It was a protest no one meant. The line turned into a stampede. In those minutes, everything collapsed into noise and dust. Then, silence. Mala stood, one slipper gone, her mother's face streaked with blood. Anas was still holding someone's shoe, but it wasn't his. Jaya Aji sat slumped against the wall. Her hands trembled as she clutched the ration card. She whispered to no one. Voice cracked, and far away, "I came early today. I had my number ready." The news vans arrived faster than the food bags. Reporters stepped out, cameras already rolling, faster than the injured were carried away, faster than help ever came. A mic was shoved into someone's face. "Where were you standing? What did you see?" But no one asked, "What do you need?" Later, officials spoke. One called it unfortunate, another blamed crowd mismanagement. An internal review will be conducted. Someone promised. The injured waited. Some tied scarves around bleeding limbs. No painkillers, no apologies. Those lying on the ground knew the truth. The man behind the gates would never eat that rice. It was too unclean, too touched, too other. So why make us suffer for food that never touch? Why is it easier to make us the news than to make our lives livable? We stood in line because we couldn't afford market rice. How do they expect us to afford medicine for wounds left by their system? The newspaper gave it a half column. Minor stampede at government ration center. 3 injured, crowd control suspected. No names, no grief. Just another line between cricket scores and sari ads. We came for food. We left with grief. In a city of smart roads and steel flyovers, they promised dignity. All we got was chaos and the privilege of being pitied on prime time.